Billionaire boss comes home to find his assistant cleaning his house. Her reason left him in tears. When Alexander Hale pulled his car into the long, curved driveway of his cliffside mansion, he expected silence. Silence was the reward he paid for: private roads, security gates, walls of glass overlooking the sea. What he did not expect was light. The lights inside the house were on. Alexander frowned. His housekeeper only came on Fridays, and today was Tuesday. His assistant, Emma Reyes, was efficient to a fault, but she respected boundaries. She would never be here without permission. He keyed in the security code manually, a habit he kept despite the biometric scanners. The door opened, and the smell of lemon cleaner drifted out to meet him. He froze. Music was playing softly, something instrumental, calm. From the hallway came the sound of movement, the gentle scrape of a mop. "Hello," he called, his voice sharper than he intended. The music stopped abruptly. A moment later, Emma appeared from the kitchen, sleeves rolled up, hair pulled into a loose bun, a faint streak of soap across her cheek. She was holding a cleaning cloth like she'd been caught stealing. "Oh," she said, "you're home early." Alexander stared at her. This was the woman who scheduled his life down to the minute, who negotiated contracts with billion-dollar firms without blinking. And here she was, standing barefoot on his marble floor. "Why," he said slowly, "are you cleaning my house?" Emma's mouth opened, then closed again. For a second, she looked like she might run. Instead, she set the cloth down carefully on the counter. "I was going to be finished before you got back," she said. "That doesn't answer my question." Alexander's chest felt tight. He didn't like surprises. He especially didn't like people crossing lines he had spent years drawing. Emma took a breath. "I noticed you haven't been sleeping." He stiffened. "That's not your concern. It became my concern when you fell asleep during the board call yesterday," she said gently. "And when you've been wearing the same suit 3 days in a row." He looked away. The house suddenly felt too big, the ceilings too high. "And that explains the mop?" he asked. She hesitated. "I went to drop off the documents you forgot this morning." The door was unlocked. Inside, it was messy. Alexander flinched. "Not dirty," he wanted to say. "Just unfinished. Just abandoned corners and unopened mail in rooms no one used anymore." "I should have left," Emma continued. "But I saw the kitchen. No food, just coffee cups. And then I saw the photo frame on the floor." His throat tightened. "Which photo?" "The one of you and your wife." The name lodged itself painfully behind his ribs. "Clara. She fell 2 years ago," Emma said quietly. "I know. I googled it when I first started working for you. I'm sorry if that was inappropriate." Alexander closed his eyes. "I picked up the frame," she went on. "The glass was cracked, and I realized, you've been surviving, Mr. Hale, not living." Silence settled between them, thick and fragile. "So," she said, almost in a whisper, "I stayed." He opened his eyes. "You stayed to clean." "I stayed because no one should come home to emptiness every night," Emma said. "And because when my mother was dying, she used to clean when she felt powerless." She said it helped her feel like she was fixing something, even when she couldn't fix what mattered. Alexander swallowed hard. "My mother died last year," Emma added. "Cancer. I couldn't save her, but I could make sure her house was clean. That she had soup in the fridge. That she wasn't alone." The room blurred. "You remind me of her," Emma said, her voice trembling now. "Not because you're sick, but because you're lonely, and you pretend you're not." Alexander laughed once, sharply, then pressed a hand to his mouth. He hadn't cried in boardrooms. He hadn't cried at Clara's funeral. He hadn't cried when the doctors told him there was nothing more they could do. But now, standing in his pristine mansion, watching his assistant hold back tears over a mop bucket, something inside him broke. "I didn't ask you to do this," he said hoarsely. "I know," Emma replied. "That's why I'm not billing the hours." A tear slid down his cheek before he could stop it. Then another. "I don't know how to be here without her," he admitted. "Every room feels wrong." Emma nodded. "Then let it feel wrong," she said. "But don't punish yourself by living in it alone." He sank into a chair, suddenly exhausted. She approached slowly, as if he might shatter if she moved too fast. "There's food in the fridge," she said. "Nothing fancy, just soup." He let out a shaky breath. "You crossed a line." "I did," she agreed. "And if you fire me, I'll understand." He looked at her, really looked. At the kindness she hid behind spreadsheets and schedules. At the courage it took to step into someone else's grief uninvited. "Don't," he said softly. "Please." Emma exhaled, relief washing over her face. Stay, he added, surprising himself. Not to clean, just stay for dinner. She smiled, small and genuine. Okay. As they sat at the long table meant for 12, eating soup from mismatched bowls, Alexander felt something unfamiliar settle in his chest. Not happiness, but warmth, and for the first time in 2 years, when he looked around his house, it no longer felt empty.